Let me introduce Mr. Sven Wagner, who is the founder of Mainstage Incubator, to share his insights on the venture, and let's listen to him. Over to you, Sven.
But first of all, hey, again, Mani, thank you very much for inviting myself and my co-founder Debashish to this great event of yours, the Amplethon. Also, we're really glad to have you as a partner on board at Mainstage Incubator. And just by listening to all these other interesting presentations prior to us, I can see on what level you're operating. So really proud to be a partner of yours. So let me share my screen.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. We at Mainstage Incubator, we help startups scale into new markets 10 times faster. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. We have more slides, but I'll come to that later on. So Mainstage Incubator was founded back in November 2019. So we are still a startup, but I think we've been on hypergrowth. Our vision was to build an innovation bridge between India and Germany, and that's how it started. But just after a few months launching Mainstage Incubator, we got requests from all over the world. So we have now a global ecosystem with mentors, startups, corporates, venture capitals, and so on. Why do we exist? So when we founded our company alone in Germany, we knew how difficult it was, even for us as a local resident, to set up a company in Germany. So we thought, hey, if a lot of these Indian startups who want to actually scale into Europe set up an office, they're going to have no clue of what they're going to do, right? So we said we are going to help them, set up a business address, but also give them access to the European market and the ecosystem. This is me, and so it's good that I included a picture, but because I usually talk with the webcam on, but it's good. So I've got around 8 years enterprise sales experience. I'm the co-founder of several other startups. I'm also mentor at several TBIs in India. So TBI is a technical business incubator hosted by the AIC at universities, and also advisory board in several other startups. This is my co-founder, Debashish Chakraborty. Debashish, would you like to unmute yourself and say a few words about you, please?
Yeah, hi. This is Debashish. We both co-founded Mainstage Incubator. Got about 22 years of experience, out of which about 10 years goes into startups. Mainstage Incubator is my third startup, and I will speak a little more about it when I get the stage after Sven completes.
Thank you very much, Debashish. This is what we do. So this is what we do, right? We help startups with fundraising, with coaching, with ecosystem connectivity. What is included in there? So we do cultural difference training. Like, even though I have to disclose this to you, I'm half German, half Indian, so I know how Indians think, and now I know how Germans think, and sometimes it feels like totally opposite cultures, and this is where we bring our knowledge in these different cultural trainings. We have a huge network of mentors as well, and Debashish will also talk a bit about the last point of help in valuation of the company and how we actually provide help towards startups. Now, I know the audience here, today, I think the session was more for students, if I understand, but again, should you guys ever open up a startup and you're looking to scale, you can come talk to us or talk to Mani, and then we'll be happy to talk and discuss this further. How do we help you guys? So we have our 3C approach, the culture, contacts. Actually, it should be 4C, but I just, okay. So it's the culture, contacts, and clients and cooperation. Culture, I just mentioned to you, the way you sell your product in India is different than the way you sell your product in Germany or Europe, or the way you sell your product in the US. I've tried selling in the US in my German style, it didn't work out. But then I had to go through a cultural training on how to sell to US customers, and then I knew exactly what's different. So I think every country has their own culture, and this is where we bring in our mentors, Debashish's experience in India, me in Europe, and also some mentors from the US. And I'm not saying it's wrong, right? Every country has their own culture, but I think we just need to adapt on how to talk to different peers around the world. contacts and clients. So I bring in a vast network of enterprises, but then we have also our partners, mentors, and my co-founder as well. And the cooperation part, I think, is pretty straightforward. Because we partner with different global ecosystems, we help with more access. We also have a virtual open space. So if a startup joins with us, we have a virtual open space. It's quite nice cartoon style where you can jump virtually between rooms and have a quick huddle meeting. So these are our added benefits for our startups. So we just launched a week ago our Mainstage Startup News app, available on all platforms. And what we do is we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We just aggregate news from all around the world, startup news, and show it in a single app instead of you having to install 10 different apps. Then we have our Mainstage events where we do ecosystem events, and then the ecosystem is a closed community where startups, mentors, experts, investors, VCs come together and do the matchmaking. And it's an invite only. So, but yeah. Debashish, would you like to maybe take it from here? Or
yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, Sven. So thank you so much, Sven, for this fantastic introduction. So I will start off with a small story. When we started off Mainstage Incubator, we were brainstorming as to what is going to be the differentiation which we bring on board. I was already working with certain startups which were in the smaller places. So, Sven, can you go back to the startups? I'll just probably end up a couple of minutes there. So, what we identified, and one of our key hypotheses is that the next unicorn is going to be coming from the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So most of our startups, if you see, are not from the metros. Some of them are, but not many of them. Hence, when we presented culture being one of the biggest gaps we fill, this is the biggest value we bring to the startup, that we explain to them, we coach them, we mentor them on presenting cross-cultural. So name the startup, talk about UvaPay, talk about Untapped, talk about Masala Box. All these guys are from smaller towns and smaller places. So can we go to the next slide? Sven, the next slide. Yeah, thank you, Sven. So if you see our mentors are cross-cultural, international. We wanted to have mentors from across the world. And you see most of them by their names, you can understand that few of them are Indians, and most of them are from the European space and the US space. And all these mentors, they engage very, in a very value-added manner with our startups, giving them interesting insights into the countries which they want to get into, how to scale up their businesses, and how to work as a startup. So we do not treat a startup as a startup. We treat the startup as a business. That is purely because we believe that if Apple, Samsung, and Oracle would have been put in one room 30 years back, considering them to be a cohort, they wouldn't be large companies today. So we believe that each startup has a different flavor of its own, different culture of its own, and we appreciate that. Do we have a next slide, Sven? So that's a thank you slide. Is that what it is? Cool. So just to sum it up, so Sven and me are always available for any kind of startup support. We have two kinds of models. So one is the model where we call it the pre-incubation model, and another is a model which we call it as a scale-up model. So pre-incubation model typically starts from an ideation to prototype. Either you are a hardware or a software startup, we are happy to help. If you are a hardware or a software startup at a scale-up stage, we are happy to help there as well. So this is what we do. We also help startups in fundraise. That's a very in-depth engagement which we have with the startup, which starts with, but then we work with startups only when the startup has started gaining some local market traction. That is one of the conditions based on which we work with these startups. But otherwise, we are always open. Our email IDs are there. Anybody thinking of working out on a startup, happy to help in whatever way we can. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This is Devashish signing off.
Thank you very much, Devashish, for bringing this in. And again, thank you, Mani, for giving us this opportunity. 200 attendees in the Amplethon. I think that's great results. And hey, I think we are even on time. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Swan. Thank you, Devashish. Thanks for joining as well. I was happy to see both of you on the show and contribute your insights. That's wonderful. And definitely, it's a long way for startups. They have to reach, and definitely, Mainstage can be of great help for them. Thank you. Thanks for making the show and sharing your insights. Thank you. Now.